Hey everyone. I wanted to take a moment here. I am at a house and this house is currently empty. They have torn out the floors. They're going to be getting ready for some paint, and the clients at this location are looking for us to just do two of the rooms that have the higher ceilings. Looking at painting some ceilings, some trim, the walls, and just kind of clean everything up. And these clients have opted to, do some of the work themselves. So they're going to be painting some of the trim in the other areas. And that just kind of got me thinking. And I talked to them about process, and I thought, you know what, this would make a great little post here just to kind of talk about the processes in case you were looking to do some of the trim yourself. So let me just kind of talk about that for a minute. So you can see here they have already painted trim, kind of show here. Already previous coating on these areas. The product that I'm going to recommend for the trim is through Benjamin Moore. It's a line of paint called Scuff X. We'll go with the satin sheen for that. Scuff X is just a phenomenal paint. Holds up really well, great durability. It's just like its name, kind of says. I mean, it's really hard to kind of mark it up. And when you do, cleaning it is just extremely easy. And so it levels out beautifully. So it's a great product for homeowners to use as well if they're looking to do their own trim. But for those of you who are deciding to try to tackle some of these home projects yourself, I just want to talk about what's some of the prep that you need to do on this. So if you're painting trim and you're going to be painting the walls, I would recommend that you always paint that trim first. Once that trim is dry, give it a day. You can lay some blue tape on the top there, and that way you can paint your walls and have nice, clean, crisp lines everywhere. But you can't just go and start putting trim paint just right over the existing trim. There's a little bit of prep work that needs to occur first. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to give this all a really good scuff sand. Now, what that means is if you look at the trim right now, you're going to see a little bit of shininess to it. What we want to do is we want to dull that down. The reason for that is we want something for the top coats to really bite into. Without that, the paint's just going to lay over top of that sheen, that shininess, and it's not really going to bite into that surface the way that you want it to. So you're going to want to take some 180 to 220 sandpaper, and you're just going to kind of want to rub that whole surface until you can get that shine down and you see a very dull finish. So once you have that all done, you're going to want to wipe that down, get rid of all the dust. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at areas like this here, where the caulking has broken away. You're going to want to add some fresh caulk to that. You're going to want to do this before you paint because you want the paint to cover up the caulk. If you don't, what's going to happen is dirt and dust is going to collect on there, and you're going to see this just nasty little line on the top of your beautifully painted trim over time. So you're going to want to make sure that you do that. So you got it sanded now, you got it wiped down, you added some fresh beads of caulk on there. The next step is going to be painting that trim. So you're going to take your brush and you're going to paint it out. But one thing when you start talking about, like here on the top of the mantle, or the same thing with the top of the trim, it's totally okay to get your paint onto the wall. You're going to want to get it up onto the wall a little bit, brush it out. You don't want any heavy lines. You don't want anything, gobs of paint on there. Make sure it's very thin, but that way you're going to get the caulk painted, you're going to get enough of the trim painted, and so that way when you lay down your piece of tape, you're going to be able to paint that wall and to make sure that you're going to have wall color there and you're going to have trim color right underneath that blue tape. So that's your little tip for the day about trim. We're going to talk about some other tricks here at different job sites, different scenarios that I see, different troubleshooting techniques. But for those of you who want to tackle your trim yourself, that's what you need to know. So thanks again.